Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iRacing Formula 3.5 Challenge here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm Austin Knight. I am joined by Avery McDonald with Sammy Kumo up here in the production booth, and we're here at the road course variant. Avery, welcome back. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Great to be back here for my favorite racetrack in the world. I've been here, I think, 5 times at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We got the great talent of these Formula 3.5 drivers. Austin, I'm excited for this 28 lap show.
28 lap show is definitely going to be a big staple of what's going to happen today, because we got the new and improved Formula 3.5 car after a very positive reaction last round at Okayama. These guys absolutely love this car, and look at this qualifying. Separating first and second is 3 thousandths of a second between Paul Ilbrink and Tim Delisle. And Paul Ilbrink, I don't know if he tipped over a ladder, walked under it, which broke a mirror, and then that upset a black cat or something. But he's been having some horrible luck lately. And speaking of more luck, a lot of oversteer coming back onto the back straight. And speaking of Indianapolis and the road variant, iRacing was actually going to release a new scan of this track very soon, and the new IndyCar road variant, as Tim Delisle snatches pole by 0.03 of a second. And look at Fabio Di Carmo, 0.01 of a second behind Delisle. The ties at the top are so close now. This new and improved car is providing very good competition for everyone else, so it's not as squirrely as before.
Yeah, it definitely makes the field a little bit more closer together. But look at Paul Ilbrink's time in third. That's on the first lap. As Delisle said before, the second lap is always your quickest lap for the most part, unless you get that big oversteer in the back straightaway. So what an impressive time by Ilbrink too, who's known for not qualifying well.
Yeah, the top 5, all within 0.2 of Tim Delisle, who is usually out there by half a second. That just shows how well that everyone knows this track and how well the new car handling is, because Indianapolis road course is known for being quite chaotic and sporadic at times.
Yeah, the road course is actually, it's kind of difficult. They have a really hard braking into turn number 1, and a lot of different types of turns. But this is the different road course than what we have in real life. But it's really a fun road course. I've driven many laps on this, Austin.
Yeah, I've driven plenty laps on this version, on the Moto version, and on the current version. And I can tell you the current road course version was planned to be coming to iRacing, but unfortunately some weird thing hit during the World, so that's unfortunately not coming in. But later on the year, or probably next year, we should see a updated Indianapolis Motor Speedway coming to us very soon. Also, hello to a few of our chat members. Fabio Di Carmo's brother, Bruno, is in the chat. He's going to be happy that his brother's starting up on the front row currently, as we're just waiting for Exposito to finish up his laps, as well as Omar Baja.
Yeah, some pretty good times, top 15 within a second. So, I mean, that's a lot better than what we've seen before with the old updated car.
Yeah, the old car was, we can just...
Yeah.
Everyone who's familiar with the series can just say the old car felt like a squirrel that found a very sugary drink and went crazy for its nuts.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
It was very wild. But the new car, a lot more easily controlled. And here at Indianapolis, it's a very good proving ground for the new way for the car to handle itself, as Omar Baja puts in a 1:15.126. He's up into 8th place right now, as we're looking at Ronaldo Augusto, who is just starting who is just starting his lap right now, but I don't think he's going to be able to finish his laps.
Yeah. Gonna be not sure if he had some computer issues or wheel issues.
Late start.
Yeah. Forget to hit the join session button, like me.
Yep. We got 23 cars on the grid today. I can say this is easily one of the largest grids we've had so far this season in the Formula 3.5 Challenge. Bernardo Augusto and James Malo are the only two drivers that I don't think are going to set a qualifying time, as that timer is going to stop right now. And there are the checkers. And there we go to get ready for this shootout of a race. And Avery, since you're back, I'm going to let you walk us through the grid.
Well, starting on the pole, usually happens all the time. Tim Delisle first, Fabio DeCarmo, great run and start second. Paul Ilbrink third, Lopez fourth, Robert Tarleton fifth. Yeah, Austin, you got sixth.
Suelo Almeida in 6th place, followed by Emil Bernstoff, Omar Baja in 8th, Stefan Herman in 9th, followed by Bruno Canaveras, followed by Edward Samborski and James J. Pinkster in 11th and 12th. Patrick Levet, Simon Pizzica, Luke Groom, Mitchell Green, Steve Honan, Jamie Byrne, Christoph Mons, James Byrne, 18th and 20th. Two Americans, 20 and 23rd car. Watch out for those two. Followed by Rob Bohr, Ron Augusto, and James Malo at the end of this 23-car grid. And all that is led by the one and only Tim Delisle, with Fabio DeCarmo joining him on the front row. And it's going to be an absolute wild ride into turn 1.
I tell you, one of the guys to look for starting, I believe it's 12th. That's JJ Power, James J. Pinkster. He's been running really strong the last couple weeks.
He's been doing very well.
Got a stacked field. The SOF today is going to be absolutely crazy, as it is every Saturday afternoon in the United States time. Just an amazing group of drivers there. Look at that.
It's actually lower than last week's, but the lights are coming on right now. You can see the engines lighting up, and we're going racing as it's green, green, green here in Indianapolis. Tim Delisle gets a great start. Fabio, another great start, but look at Paul Ilbrink jumping around the outside all the way up into second place. It's a drag race heading into turn 1. Ilbrink and Carmo side by side heading into turns 1 and 2. Carmo looking for around the outside. Ilbrink holding around the outside right now, but Carmo down onto the inside. This time by through turns 3 and 4. And Fabio back up in a second, and now Lopez and Ilbrink going side by side for the battle for 3rd place.
Ilbrink trying to make a good power move, and DeCarmo just really worked to the inside to pull away into 2nd place. What a great move by DeCarmo.
It was a great start, well played. The inside line moving to the outside line. He just has a better exit than Ilbrink, because Ilbrink was very, very bogged down as they go through the back straight right now. Very wide line for Suelo Almeida, but he is up into 6th as they go through the Museum chicane. And going wide, that's Stefan Herman.
Yeah, very easy to go wide here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. A couple of turns at the last sector, as you saw the driver go off. But that back straightaway, if you go too wide, you're going to get a slowdown. So you got to be very cautious on your exits here.
Fabio, great start, well defended. Still sitting in 2nd place, trying to chase down Tim Delisle, who's already pulled out a 2nd gap. And Paul Ilbrink, up and down start. Amazing off the line reaction, though, I must say.
Oh yeah, it was a very impressive run. But for DeCarmo, it's being taught by his brother Bruno. It's really running very strong at second, is going to try to chase down Delisle first.
Take a look at our mini-map. Very packed, tight field. Only one car seemed to get into an incident, or that was Steve Honan, who is way off the pace of everyone else. And look down to the inside is Suelo Almeida holding that inside line. And the amount of downforce this Formula 3.5 car, you can hold that inside line throughout the entire quarter. So Lopez getting demoted into 6th place as Almeida jumps up into 5th.
Yeah, Honan, one of our series regulars that we see every week. Pretty unfortunate for him, but Suelo just working in the top 5, trying to catch up to his current quick time, Robert Holt.
Esposito has been having a few rough weeks, and Indianapolis, not one of his favorite tracks. I know not a lot of cars really like racing here, but these new 3.5 cars are just absolutely glued to this place, and they handle like a dream now.
Yeah, I watched the broadcast from last week at Okayama, and these cars handle like a dream. The times are so much closer. iRacing did a fantastic job on this build.
Sam Borsi sitting in 9th, battling fellow countryman Omar Baja. It's going to be a good run. It's going to be looking for a good slingshot move as Carmo and Ilbrink going side by side for 2nd place. So heading into the braking zone. Carmo does the initial charge, and he jumps back into 2nd place in this 4.7K SOF field here at Indianapolis. And it's all led by Tim Delisle as Tarleton is off the track. Tarleton just clipped that grass on corner entry, and that's a sub 7 throughout the rest of the corners. And he went off right there, but he didn't get to the gravel track, and he is continuing on right now.
Yeah, you have to be very cautious on corner entrance and corner exit. Make sure you don't get off the track, and you can't make mistakes here. These guys are some of the best drivers on iRacing, and if you make a mistake, you're going to lose not 1, not 2. You're going to lose probably 3 or 4 spots when you're that tight of a battle.
Exactly, and you don't want to lose a lot of time, especially if you're in a side-by-side battle and you're trying to chase down P1, which is Tim Delisle, who is just always on a tear. And I'm looking at these cars' rear wings. I'm noticing something different. If you look at Simone Pizzica's and the car in front of him, Pincers, if you look at the rear wings, Pincer is running a lower rear wing than a lot of the other drivers. Yeah, James J. Pincer is running an absolutely lower rear wing. It's cut off like, I don't know, the entire 2/3 of it. As you can see comparison, Simone Pizzica is running a full rear wing, and James is running the lower rear wing, which is going to give him a big power move going onto the straight. But compared to the rest of the drivers, I'm not sure if it's a bold move there, but we're going to see how it works out for him.
I mean, it's JJ Power. He's going to make bold moves, and that doesn't surprise me.
But I must say this. If you run that lower rear wing, your DRS effectiveness is going to go down. But after what comments we had, they said the DRS power actually wasn't as effective as it used to be. As here comes Paul Ilbrink down onto the inside, heading into turn 1. This is going to give him a lot of an advantage as he jumps up into P2, and he secures that move right there.
Great move by Ilbrink. Oh, Tarleton with another off.
Tarleton very loose on exit.
Yeah, when
spin He's trying to look around the outside of Pizzica. Now back onto the inside. They're going to wheel to wheel. Now Pizzica looking around to the outside. And now Tarleton's back on the small rear wing of JJ Power.
Yeah, he's a couple of mistakes for Tarleton there, but the pass that Ilbrink made into Carmo.
That was a bit of netcode, but there was definitely contact between these cars.
Yeah, you kind of have to, when you start making some mistakes, you just got to put the head down, start driving, not worrying about what other people are doing, just run your times.
Head down. This is a 28-lap race. Just got to keep the car clean. If you're in a Master Pack, just kind of want to let off the gas a little bit, because if you continue this crazy pattern of overtaking and close battling, as we're going 2 wide down the front straight, make that almost 3 wide, as Pizzica jumps up into 10th place, catching that event into 11th. Side by side they go into turn 1, and let's see if Tarleton has a better exit this time. Yep, he looks planked to the ground now.
That was a great move by Patrick, but he's got Tarleton right on his gearbox, going into these turns. So he's got a lot of pressure here. A lot of pressure.
So Robert fighting with his wheel just a little bit mid-corner, trying to scrub some grip into there and keep the car planted. Takes an off-track penalty right there. I do know if you pass that DRS sign, you do get a slowdown penalty.
You have to be very cautious on the corner exit there. I've got a lot of slowdowns from there, so yeah, this is another very
Oh my
tough.
goodness, what a chicane by Robert Tarleton. Going, oh no! Oh, Luke, he went spinning around and Luke Groom collected him right there. Big incident. Robert Tarleton and Luke Groom got into each other, but Tarleton and as well as I think another car got involved in something else, but that was behind him. I believe it was green. Went off track, and no! Fabio is turned around at turn 1.
Oh, you hate to see it. The Carmo was running so strong. Here's the replay.
Yeah, Fabio and Paul Ilbrink, that second and third battle. Here comes Paul looking around the outside. I don't think there's going to be any contact between these cars. I think Fabio just hit that inside curb. No, there was contact. And oh! Bernstoff got into him. That was Emil Bernstoff getting into Fabio right there. No, it was Suelo. Suelo actually hit him. And here's Suelo, and he's got damage and he got locked up, so he went off and into the wall. Oh, you hate to see it. The top running Brazilians in the field. Both of them getting into incidents, and here goes Suelo into the pits. Oh. Well, if you're Fabio, I think you'd be saying karma right now, because he stayed out.
Yeah, just real unfortunate incident. Lap 9 of 28, or this is lap 8 at the time. I was trying to hold off for position. That contact was made.
But really, there was nowhere for Suelo to go, because Fabio was losing a lot of speed. He was already a bit sideways, and Suelo comes in there, and you can see that damage that Fabio has on his right side pod. It's a bit chapped in there, but his wings all look good, but he's going to be losing a lot of power down the straight.
Yeah, it's so tough going into turn number 1, and you see a driver with the spun around. You pretty much close your eyes and hope you don't hit him.
Yeah, especially around turns 1 into turn 2. It's kind of blind when you head into there because it's such a sharp corner.
Yeah, as the accidents happen, Delisle's still out front.
Yeah, Delisle's still up front, being followed by Paul Ilbrink, but now Paul Ilbrink doesn't have any cars around him to be worried about battling, so he could try to chip in on Tim Delisle, but that last time by Tim, 15.8 compared to the 16.3. It's going to be a uphill battle for Paul Ilbrink to try to fight with Tim Delisle right now.
But the one thing is Bernstoff ran at the same time Delisle ran, and he's just about a second half away from Ilbrink. If he can kind of, keep on that throttle, he'll catch right up there. We're gonna have a good battle for second.
Yeah, Emil, he's got a lot of time, and he's showing us some great pace right now, and he's already up 4 spots from where he started. And usually this is the cleanest start we've had so far after the last 3 rounds of just absolute chaos on opening laps. Biggest mover so far is Rob Bohr with a amazing 9 spots up from where he qualified, and he's running that lower wing as well.
What was impressive about Bohr, he was up 7 spots 2 laps into this race, so had a great start, was able to make some really aggressive moves, and now he's just going to try to pluck it away, try to catch up the groom to take over the 11th spot.
And that lower wing is helping him a lot on that straights, especially to make these overtakes. If you clear of the car by a car length or 2 heading into turn 1, you've got that turn. And then for that lap, and with that lower rear wing, his top end speed is way higher, but mid corner he's going to be struggling a lot.
Yeah, and that's kind of the risk you take. If you want that higher downforce, you'll be a little bit better in the turns. If you take that lower downforce, you can get a little better speed on the straightaways. You have to figure out what's going to better suit your driving style, because everybody drives the car different.
Yeah, Tim Delisle is very smooth with it. He knows when to attack. Some drivers like attacking the corner on entry and smoothing out the wheel to heat up the tires a bit more and get them up to temperature. And then some drivers just know how to crash it into the wall. And, Renard Augusto. He's off in turns 3 and 4. He's back on the track. Don't see any damage. I think this was just a lone spin that he had, and he just waited for everyone else.
Yeah, he's had some bad luck today. Not able to get the qualifying time in, and then the spin. So real unfortunate for Augusto, who usually runs pretty well in these cars.
Yeah. Back up to Fabio Di Carmo on his attempted move up through the field, but with that, oh no, he gets into the back of Omar Baja and sends him spinning into the grass at turns 1 and 2. He was trying to maximize his speed and battle it out as close as he can, but unfortunately just misjudged the braking point and just got into the back of Omar Baja. Let's run up board with Omar. See on how close that these two got. Fabio just a little bit later and lighter on the brakes than Omar, and oh, you just hate to see that.
Yeah, you really do.
I think that's our first car-to-car contact main collisions we've had this race.
Yeah, we had that incident earlier a little bit, but that was just a little misjudgment. You can totally tell it wasn't on purpose. Real unfortunate for Omar Baja. I was running very well.
Yeah, Fabio. Well, he's in 6th now because Evan Samborski has passed him. I think Fabio might have some front wing damage. He doesn't, but if you just look at that side pod, it is hindering him a lot. And here comes James J. Pinkster on the back end of him in that lower rear wing speed demon matte black car, looking for that 6th place. Fabio won't give it up without a fight.
Oh no, he won't give up, and JJ Power does not expect Fabio to give up, so he's gonna try to get up there, make a power move to get into 6th place.
You just absolutely love that nickname. But behind James A. Pinkster, it is Simone Pizzica, who we've seen make some absolute wonderful moves throughout the field. The only Italian on the grid.
Yeah, he's, for the last couple races that I've watched with him in it, very well. I've been trying to watch this series more as just like a spectator on days that they're not on Apex Racing. So I've been watching him doing very well. Really good driver.
I must say, this is the most populated American lobby we have ever had on the Formula 3.5 Challenge Series. I've never seen this many Americans on this grid before. Usually we get like 2 to 3. What a send by Pizzica!
Yeah, 8 Americans in the field.
Well, he was going for a send that was coming from Indy, from probably Illinois, all the way into turn 1. That was incredibly risky heading into there, but oh, James Byrne is off in the gravel.
It looked like he might have burned off the tires a little too much going into that turn.
Oh, you did not just say that. Avery returning to his punny ways.
Speaking of Pizzica's pass attempt there, I mean, I've seen some really aggressive pass attempts that usually end up in carnage, and that was a very aggressive pass attempt, but he knew he didn't have it, so he didn't cause the carnage. So that was really, you know, it's good they didn't cause a big jump.
Yeah, glad he didn't cause any sort of incident, but that pass down on, well, that attempt down to the inside was definitely risky. But he has to definitely try something heading into turn 1 because JJ, he's got the speed on the straight. He's got the draft, but that rear wing is going to make it difficult. Here we go for round 2. Simone looking down to the inside. JJ closes it off once more.
Yeah, JJP, he definitely has the run on the straights, which is really helping him defend. And they're doing still really well going into these tight turns, like in turn 1 and 2 with the lower downforce package.
Yeah, but that lower rear wing is just allowing Simone Pizzica to just stay there on his tail end. And that pink car is Suelo Amida. He's a lot down, but he is still battling with him as Patrick Letovet is, well, just letting these two guys have that battle. We got a massive kerfluffle in the opening sector.
Kerfluffle? I like that.
Well, it was a bunch of gaggling. That's Bruno. He's going slow down the straight. He's immediately in green. He's in 15th. We haven't looked at this car at all, but good shout at the Mercedes paint scheme on there.
Yeah, the paint schemes that this series brings is just absolutely phenomenal.
I know we had a old Jordan a few times. And, oh, here we go. Jamie Byrne and Green side by side. The Americans going for 14th place. As they head into the turn 1 and setting it up the inside. Mitchell in green. Up into 14th. And Steve Honan. Oh, no. And that Renault. Well, it is a Renault already, but
you hate to see
you
it.
just hate to see it.
You really do.
Wait, did the two Renaults get into it? No, did not just happen. This did not just happen. No! The exact same livery cars hit each other.
Yeah, being on that outside going into turn number 1 is so dangerous. That's the second or third time I believe that we've seen an incident when that's happened.
I'm losing track of how many turn 1 incidents we've had in the last 3 laps.
About 3 probably.
At least 3. That was yeah.
The race goes on.
The race always goes on as Stefan Herman and, well, actually that's a custom color car, but pretty much the same yellow as the Renault ahead of him. And oh my goodness, Rob Bohr's in the wall.
Yeah, Rob Bohr, your biggest mover, into the wall, still is the biggest mover.
That's job security right there.
Yeah.
But
tough times.
How did he get into the wall? Oh, I must have gotten into the grass on exit. There's the grass, got into it, and it's just upset. Big lockup, trying to save it out of the wall. And he does save it out to the wall. Oh, a little bit of a tail slap right there. but no damage to the car that I can see.
A great driving there by Rob Bohr after into the kitty litter to not cause too much damage to the car. You know, he is our biggest mover, and he wants to maintain that title. He wants to bring that belt home.
Definitely. And the closest, we got a very good battle right now because Bohr is caught up by James Byrne. Byrne looking down to the inside. Both of the lower rear wing cars speeding it down the straights as James Byrne jumps up into 12th.
Look at those red wheels. They just stick out and said, hello, I'm here.
Yes, they do. And, oh, James! Holding that extremely inside line. I've never seen that one attempted before. But these cars have the downforce to hold it. And James, very well held as we got a problem behind us if Herman. Stefan, another incident for him. He's down in 20th.
Just had some bad luck.
Yeah, he's been having a lot of bad luck. Bernard Augusto is caught up with his teammate, Ken Ovas, right behind him. So, wait, that wasn't a, yeah, it was. But the 21 car right behind the 15, and these guys going to try to work together and move up through the field, but they've just been having some very rough races today.
Yeah, I've had some very bad luck, and you know, Honan started off was in last place after the first, or I believe second lap, started to work his way forward. Contact was made. Here's a good passing opportunity into one.
Don't hit your teammate right here. And he thought about it. Bruno did it. He just decided it wasn't worth the risk of trying to go down to the inside. If you're battling with each other, you're slowing yourselves down. And you got Steve Honan right behind you. And you really want to catch up to this group ahead of you because 12th all the way up to 16th are all in one big pack.
Well, and you know, he didn't want to be the second group of drivers with the same paint scheme to cause an accident there. So it's a good job.
I think that first one was just coincidence. They weren't actually teammates. These guys are actually teammates, though.
Yeah, that was a really aggressive exit by Bruno there. Oh, and a little tire spin. You have to be very cautious on the exit into the back straightaway so you don't get a slowdown.
Yeah, especially on these new tires. You can stretch them out just a little bit, but you still can't really. If a car is pointing in a certain direction, you're spinning out the wheels, obviously at a greater of 45 degrees either way, you're still gonna, it's gonna be a bad time as Rob Bohr swinging around the outside and trying to break it around the outside, but James Byrne, well defended.
One thing is with Byrne and Bohr, both are tied with the biggest mover. So this pass is for the biggest mover of the race too. Not that they actually know that, but you know, we do.
Well, they couldn't know that if they are running the SDK overlay right there, and you can have a bunch of stats on the side of your screen by where you're from, nationality, the interval to the car head, the mini map right there, driver information, and it also has some nice little features like the fuel window, how much fuel's left in the car, last lap time, your best lap time, a whole bunch of customizable stuff all on a extendable screen, either on a separate monitor or on the live screen, as Exposito gets overtaken by a wonderful send for third place by Emil Bernstoff right there. Well, okay, it was a defense move.
Yeah, Spotter was doing the defense here, just going defense, defense, and that's what he did.
It was great defense, I must say that.
Yeah, really defended that position well with the defensive move. But yeah, check out that SDK software. It's so customizable that I mean, you can do whatever you want. That's how great the software is.
Yeah, you can find more information about the SDK gaming software at SDK. Well, wait. I am not going to try to recite that URL off the top of my head.
It is in the description.
Yes, you can find more information on the description down below. Thank you for at www.sdk-gaming.co. Thanks, Sammy.
Battle for third is heating up. Who wants the final podium spot? We're only on lap 22:28, so the time is starting to wind down.
And if you go there from this broadcast, tell them that Austin, Avery, or Sammy sent you, and they might throw in something cool. Don't tell them that Marco sent you. No. Us. He's not here. We're here.
But what is here is the battle for third. Lopez is just trying to catch off to Emil. They've been battling all race to get into the final spot of the podium, and I don't know about you, Austin, but I would like to see another amazing battle for third.
Yeah, a great battle for the final podium spot. The thing is, though, we're on lap 22 and 28. Knowing it, Lopez, he's going to just bide his time and just try to force a mistake from Bernstop, because he's been a little bit squirrely. And oh my goodness, Green went spinning around the second hairpin at turn 6. Side by side with Burns right here. And Green. Oh, and Rob Bohr got into him.
Yeah, it looked like there's about a mile gap in between that, but unfortunately for Mitchell, he got junked.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate, but looks like he is still continuing on, but his chances are going down, as here comes Rob Bohr getting defended, pushed all the way down onto the inside of the pit straight, going to the completely other side of the track, as they're going to go side by side into turn 1. But really, James Byrne has that position right now, and that was very well defended by him.
Yeah,
Both
very
these
well.
guys,
Very well defended. Very well defended, Austin. The battle for the biggest mover is still on, as Byrne is just pulling away from Bohr when Bohr makes the move. But the battle for the biggest mover is still on.
Yeah, these guys tied at 8 overtakes. And then we got a lot of guys at 6 overtakes. One of those is Edward Samborski up in 5th place. And he's closing in on that battle for 3rd. So in case something happens ahead of him, Edward Samborski might be coming away with a surprise 3rd place and a fight for the biggest mover.
Edward Samborski right now is, by the timing and scoring, which you can also see that, he had the fastest last lap of the top 5 drivers. So like, if he can keep his pace, I mean, they're right in front of him. They're literally right there.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds is that battle between Lopez and Bernstoff for 3rd place ahead of him. So if he continues this pace and they start getting elbows out just a little bit, this can become a 3-way fight for 3rd place very soon.
Yeah, Eddie Samborski had a great move from his starting position. He's got the elbows up. He sees Lopez in sight, and then Bernstoff right in front of him, and he's like, I want that podium, and I need to get going.
He drives the elbows up.
I do.
And look at that.
It's a motocross term.
Well, these guys going to start battling like it's motocross. Exposito screaming down the front straight, round the outside, up into 3rd. And now these guys are going to start battling as we have a new podium, new 3rd place on the podium. And that'll be Jorge Lopez. Exposito ahead of Bernstoff and Samborski. Closing in on these guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, to be able to cover this official iRacing 3.5 series has just been an honor, and just an honor to watch these amazing drivers right now. You see Samborski back there in 5th, got the eyes on Emil. Coming down to the end, Austin, this is when your DRS is going to really play a factor.
Yeah, these cars do have DRS. Its effectiveness has kind of gone down for what it used to be, but they still packs a punch, especially if you're running in that low wing configuration. Oh my goodness, you turn into a rocket ship.
Yeah, I mean, before this SOF is just absolutely, it always is good every week. I don't know why I always act like I'm surprised by how good it is.
One of the best drivers on iRacing as Burnsoft looking around the outside, but he's going to be side by side heading into turn one. Exposito sends it into turn one to defend for P3, and he does. And Samborski is within 1.5 seconds now of this fight between third and fourth place. And now, can we say it's a three-way fight? Can we say it's a three-way?
It's getting close to a three-way fight for the final podium position. Samborski has got to a little more on that throttle pedal. He's been quicker every lap for the last 5 laps, and he just has to just go a little bit faster.
And with 3 laps remaining, these two guys, Burnsoft and Lopez, they've been getting the elbows out even more and have been attacking each other more and more. So I think we're about to see a big send from Emil right here.
Yeah, you got to take your chances right now. We're in the final couple laps of this race. You have to make a move when you have a chance. Otherwise, you're just not going to get a position. They go down the straightaway in the toe.
Zito went to the pit straight, then back to the wall. And that upset Burnsoft a lot because Burnsoft's not there with him. I think he's realized that Samborski's right behind him and doesn't want to fight and risk losing that 4th place position as they have 2 laps to go here at Indianapolis.
Yeah, Ilbrink's checked. Delisle, excuse me, is checked out. Ilbrink's checked out from in second. But right now, the battle for the final podium, it is heating up. The fire has been ignited on Burnsoft, and he's going to try to take the fire and take 3rd place away and try to get that final podium spot.
I think Burnsoft was using DRS on that back straight, but the color of his wing is making it very hard to see through that wing. You can tell if a driver is using DRS if you cannot see through the wing. That small little slit right there, if you can see through it, they have DRS activated just like Exposito has right now. And you just see he's pulling away from Burnsoft right behind. That DRS is making it very hard for Burnsoft to catch up to him. 0.87 seconds, 0.88. So Jorge Lopez Exposito was waiting for it, and now he is pulling away with as this white flag here in Indianapolis. 1 lap to go. Delisle, Ilbrink, Lopez, your top 3.
Yeah, Lopez definitely put out the fire of Emil's charge, but another incredible run by Delisle. I mean, just putting on a clinic. I mean, if you're watching these races, just take notes. I mean, the dude's literally a legend. I mean, just doing what he does, man.
Yeah, Tim Delisle is always up there. When you're talking Formula 3.5, the name Tim Delisle is up there with Michael Schumacher. Almost every race that this guy enters, he is always in the top 3 or is winning. And he's going to do another one today. Pole and the win. Tim Delisle.
Bet you he's doing that fist pump because he won. That's his move. Great run by Ilbrink, though. Really good job by Paul. Great run. 8-second gap between Delisle, still really impressive.
And Lopez jumping up into 3rd place. He seals that final podium spot ahead of Burnsoft, with Samborski finishing in 5th. And oh, you feel for Fabio. He had such a high hope for today, starting in 2nd place, and unfortunately after that incident drops down to 6th place. And we got a great battle for the 15th spot right now as Bruno round the outside. We got a great drag race. DRS is activated. Mons is ahead of him, that Renault, and here comes Bruno round the outside. Side by side drag racing here at Indianapolis. They're wheel to wheel headed to the line, and it's gonna be Mons, and oh my goodness.
Wow, what a finish there. I mean, oh, dude, like that was just, fantastic side by side. And that's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Indianapolis, you always have a fantastic race. I've never been to Indianapolis where the race was bad.
Same here. Every race I've seen at Indianapolis or been to Indianapolis or raced at Indianapolis was always fun. But that finish between these guys, just for 15th place, just for 16th place, between Christopher Monson and Bruno Canavaras that was side-by-side action. As here are your race results. Tim Delisle takes the win, followed by Paul Ilbrink, Jorge Lopez, Emil Bernstoff, Edward Samborski in 5th, followed by Fabio Ducarmo, James J. Pinster, Simon Pizzica, Patrick Letovet, Omar Baja, Luke Broom, James Byrne, and Jamie Byrne, finishing in 12th and 13th, followed by Rob Bohr, Bernardo Augusto, Christopher Montz, Bruno Carnarvos, Steve Honan, Stefan Herman, Mitchell Green in 20th, and they're followed by Suelo Almeida, James Malo, and Robert Tarleton, who all three of these guys have been having a very tough race today. Hopefully next round, when we go to Monza next week, will be much better for them. And we do have some drivers waiting for us right now. And I think it's time to talk to our race winner, ladies and gentlemen, Tim Delisle. Tim, this is Austin. Can you read me?
Yes, hello.
Another great race for you. A little bit sketchy at the start. You had Paul Ilbrink and Fabio breathing down your neck, but you just kind of ran away with it once they started fighting with each other. How was that race, man?
I think it can be summed up in 5 words, which would be, oh no, my tires are gone. The track state was, well, it said extensive, which I'm assuming means 100%. And with the way the physics are at the moment, that's a very slow track. And it just seemed like after lap 5, my tires were completely dead. So yeah, I was just so glad that Paul and Fabio were battling behind me, and they let me build a gap. And from there, it was just a matter of trying to conserve the tires as well as I could, just not doing any sliding, nothing too crazy, and yeah, just getting the car to the end.
Yeah, the track state hurt you a lot, but hey, I must say something. That qualifying was extremely close between the top 3.
Yeah, oh my god. In the practice session I was in before the race, it was like a perfect track. The conditions were beautiful, and I was like smashing out 13s, and then I got into this session, and yeah, there was just no grip. So yeah, I don't know, like out of the oval bit onto the start finish straight, if you hug the inside, you gain a few thousandths, and I did that on my second qualifying lap, and who knows, that could have been the difference between pole and second place. So yeah, it just goes to show that all the little things add up. So yeah, I was really lucky today.
Well, the luck is absolutely shining for you, especially with this new car. Next week, we go to Monza. What are your expectations for that track?
Oh God, turn 1, you know, it's going to be interesting. Like, it's, yeah, the slipstream's also very strong at the moment. We know it's more powerful this season than it was previously. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of unknown territory. We haven't raced there for a couple of seasons. Different car, you know, we've got new people joining the series, new people who have adapted to the tires really well and are now, you know, closer to the top. So I don't know, it's going to be a mystery, but I'm looking forward to it, but just cautiously optimistic at this stage.
All right, well, thank you for your time, Tim. Congrats on the win. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Positive Sim Racing team, as always. Lubomir, you know, I was using his baseline from Okayama last week, just made a couple of small changes for this week, and it came through again. So thanks to him, thanks to you guys for the coverage, and congrats to Paul and who was it? It was Jorge in the end, getting P3. Oh wow, I saw Emil looked like he was in P3 for most of that. So yeah, congrats to Jorge, and unlucky to Swelio. He had very good pace, but I heard he was caught out in an incident. So yeah, better luck to him next week. So yeah, thanks.
And thank you, Tim. We're going to go to Avery, who's standing by with Paul Ilbrink.
Hey, Paul, you there?
I am.
Congratulations on a second place finish. How'd the race go from your point of view?
Yeah, okay-ish, I guess. I took like a pretty high downforce setup for this race, and I was just planning on sitting in the draft, save the arrest till the end, and then win or something like that. But unfortunately, we had to let Tim go already in the opening laps. I was like hoping that we could close back in, but that didn't really happen. Had a kind of nice battle with Fabio, but yeah, I don't know. When we were passing, we were going like too wide into turn one, and when I got past or didn't pass him enough, I tended to just like give up so we could just keep driving the racing line and not lose too much time. But yeah, in the end, we had a contact there in turn one, and unfortunately, Fabio spun or something, and Suelio's race ended there as well. So I'm sorry about that. I probably should have left a little bit more room, but yeah, unfortunately that happened. So, but other than that, I'm happy to finish the race, have second position, and score some good points.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes the contact happens, but the podium position is always hard to get here in this car. Next week we go to Monza. Are you excited for that?
I'm excited to see like how the car is after the update on a track like that. If we can actually run like higher downforce or lower downforce or something. But back here it seems that most people at the front at least were running quite a high downforce set again. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, we'll can't wait to see you next week there. But before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank?
You guys for doing a nice broadcast, and everybody for organizing it, and my teammates at Radicals Online and our partners and sponsors: Armor Centrum, Cranfield Simulation, Track Racer, Joe Real Timing, Turn Racing, MOATF Podcast, Pixel Dust, and Six Sideways.
Well, Paul, we'll see you next week. Congrats on the podium. That's Paul Ilbrink, taking home second place. We have see if Jorge is here. Austin, are you with Jorge?
I am standing by with our final podium stander, Jorge Lopez. I'm not attempting that. No, okay, I'll do it. Exposito.
Hello, good night, everyone.
Jorge, wonderful move in the final closing laps for third place. Talk about that race.
That was hard because I think I couldn't catch Emil, but on the straight I was pretty fast. I was catching him when he was using DRS, and I wasn't. So I just waited to the last lap, the last time of the race, and send it. And on the two, I don't know, it was 2 or 3 laps remaining. He couldn't catch me on the straight, but because I was using DRS to defend, well, that's a podium. That's a podium position.
It was a pretty crowded start for you. You fell down the grid a bit, but you moved all the way back up to third. Talk about the start of this track and how Indianapolis compares to other starting laps.
I have a problem on every track, on every race, on the first laps. I don't know why, but I can find the grip, I can find the pace, and I always have been overtaken on the first laps. Sometimes I can go up to the field again, and other times I can't. I don't know. I don't have the feeling of the car on the first laps, and so when I saw Suelio was faster, I let him pass by. And used his draft to trying to follow. I think it was Paul in front of us and Fabio, and wait for something to happen. It was bad luck for Paul and of course for Fabio for this touch and Suelio. And well, I I could have advantage of it and just fight with Emil for the point. That's a good thing for me.
Well, it's a great race and a great finish. Hopefully your starts work out better for you. But before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
No, there's the. I think I just want to say about the update on the ties. Mm, I want to thank all the people who on the forum who was pushing it to racing to iRacing stuff and developers to push them to look to this car to these ties. Well, thanks to them all, and of course, for thanks to Racing to that in the car. I just want to say I love this car.
I'm pretty sure all of us love this car now with that update. It just feels so wonderful to drive. Well, thank you, Jorge, for joining us in the booth, and congrats on that third place. Avery, any closing comments?
Thanks to you everyone for the streaming.
Well, closing comments come here with this. 3.5 updated. Absolutely fantastic job by iRacing. You bring it to a track like Indianapolis Motor Speedway, one of the greatest tracks in the world. You're going to get a fantastic race, and that's what we got. It was no surprise.
Absolutely not a surprise at all. Another great race here in the iRacing Formula 3.5 Challenge here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Next race, we're going to be at Monza, and that is definitely going to bring some excitement and some fireworks, especially on lap 1. We'll see who's going to be conquering the Temple of Speed next week here on Apex Racing TV. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining us for another excellent round. I've been joined by Avery McDonald with Sammy Kumo in the booth, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a great night.